use with your students. So we are going to do 2 practical activities, and if time allows, we do another one. Okay? Right. And take a look at these sentences, please. So I was with a friend of mine, and we were looking at a set of images. I'm not going to say what. And this is what my friend said.
So this is all from one picture?
No, they are from different pictures. And your task now is to find out what kind of pictures were these. Was it a film? Was it I don't know. Were my friend and I looking at I don't know, photographs, family photos? What kind of pictures were we looking at? Can you try to guess with the person next to you? Can you see it from here? Yes.
Olivia was invited to the film preview, but she can't go because she was sick.
Oh, she's VIP. Hello, how are you doing? You all right? Okay, and any ideas? Just so let me just check something. If I look livid, how am I feeling? Am I happy? Am I angry? It's the other way around. If I am livid, I am very angry. I'm very angry. So what kind of pictures are we talking about? What kind of newspaper image? Trump?
Maybe he was a little bit nervous, I don't know.
So my friend was talking about a picture, a photograph of Donald Trump.
Yes.
That's very specific, but okay. All right, that's a good guess. Any other ideas? Any other ideas?
Maybe magazine pictures?
About what subjects?
I thought was that about the first picture, the previous picture.
So no, it's about a different set of images. So maybe they're looking at a magazine, and now we have Donald Trump. We can only think of Donald Trump, right? I can only think of that. Could it be family photos? I'm talking about a family photo. It looks as if something terrible will happen. What do you see in this photograph?
We thought that you need a context, like you need a sequence to think of it.
Okay, so maybe I'm looking at a movie poster, or I'm watching a film. Right. So I'm gonna show you the photographs that the images that my friend and I were looking at. We're looking at this. You're right. Donald Trump is here. So we were looking at these magazine covers, and this friend was describing, saying, she looks gloomy. He looks content. She looks gloomy. It's the only woman, right? Do you know who she is? Taylor Swift, the singer. Does she look gloomy to you? Like sad, and does she look gloomy? She looks livid. She's a singer. She's an American singer. So this is what my friend was describing this photograph, saying these things. It looks as if he's heard bad news. Who do you think he was talking about? Do you all agree? It looks like as if he's heard bad news.
Maybe that guy.
That guy. Who's this guy? Do you know who he is? The president of Russia. Yeah, Vladimir Putin. He has a bad news look on his face, doesn't he? But I'm not quite sure if I like my friend's description of the images. So look at who's this guy? Do you know? Leonardo DiCaprio. He looks different, doesn't he? He looks
Something terrible will happen.
like the Titanic will sink. Yeah, something terrible will happen. So I'm not quite sure I like my friend's descriptions. So let's try to change them. This Steve Jobs, do you think he looks livid? Does he look gloomy?
Content.
He looks content. Any other words to describe him? He looks pleased. I would be pleased if I were him. Okay, so he looks pleased. He looks as if... Steve Jobs, he looks as if... He looks as if he's got a plan on his mind, a plan to conquer the world. So take a look at the magazine covers again, and now I'd like your ideas, but you need to describe the covers saying it. The person looks, or it looks as if. Can you try together in 2 minutes?
He decided not to.
But in his picture, no, they all have some sort of smile in the first two pictures. And the third, he looks busy, and he always looks busy. That's his piece. So I think it looks okay.
All right, tell me some of your ideas. Let's talk about Donald Trump again, because it was such a nice guess. He looks terrible. He looks terrible.
He just found out that Mexicans will exist like in America forever, so that's why he looks that way.
Okay, all right. Any other ideas? Disgusting. Okay, now let me ask you a question. Is this a good picture of him or a bad, you think, photograph of him? The other ones are worse. But do you, okay, how does it show the reality? I mean, the reality according to us, right? It's our opinion. It's just, it's validating our opinion. I sense that no one here in this room likes him. Am I right? So this is a good photograph to show this idea. Why do you think the magazine has chosen this one and not any other one? Do you think that the magazine chose on purpose? because they wanted to convey a message to the readers? Is it only the photograph, or there are other things in the magazine that show?
Actually, what called to my attention is that the name of the magazine is at the back in both pictures here. Ty others, when the name, the title is red or white, it's the front, but it's like they're hiding the name of the magazine.
Do you think it's an accident or it's on purpose? It's on purpose. They're more important. So the name of the magazine in the background and not the foreground means something. Okay, I agree with you. What about the color, the choice of color for the background? Do you think it also helps? It gives an impression. To contrast with his orange, but it's a different impression, right? A white background and a gray background. So this is the kind of thing that many times when we teach and we say, okay, look at the image, what do you think? It's not so clear for students. So with the students, we need to walk them through what we want them to notice. So the students would look at this magazine cover and say, Donald Trump, okay, and he looks angry or intimidating. But then if we want to develop visual literacy, we have to go over the steps and help students notice, for example, that the name of the magazine is in the background of the image, not the foreground. And that has any impact on the message, right? And ideally, you can contrast with, for example, Obama and this one. What's the difference? And then we walk them through the differences. In terms of language, what am I practicing with the students? Description and different uses of look. Somebody looks, or it looks as if. So that's my language object. Looks like, possibly. It's not here, but it's a possibility. So we need to match. We need to match our aim in terms of language. And if we want to work with images, how can images help us achieve this aim? In this case, this is a real example of something that I did in real life with my students. What's a possible next step? So we described. We practice a little bit of language. What can we do next?
Semantics. We go beyond and try to find out a little more about semantics.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so explore language a little bit more. Any other ideas?
Vocabulary, different adjectives.
Livid, gloomy, content, expand on the, okay, so again, expand on language. Any other ideas?
You can explore the why they have these voices. Just why, because you're describing them, but why?
So this could be before the students read a text, for example. Could be a pre-reading activity, not necessarily to work with grammar or vocabulary. So there are many possibilities. What I did with my students when I use this activity, I encourage them to, because that's the thing, I brought these pictures. They are something, these are things that called my attention. So what I wanted to know is what other magazine covers call your attention, the students' attention. And I asked them to search with their phones. And at Cultura, we use a tool called Padlet. I don't know if you know it. It's very easy to use. It's a board that you project. The students can find things using their phones or write texts. And whatever they write on their phones will show on the screen. So it's amazing, it's magic. And what I did was, okay, now can you choose other magazine covers that you find iconic, and let's describe them. And these are some of the images that they chose. And they chose the National Geographic one. So one nice thing to do when you are working with images is not only provide the images yourself, but also let the students show their knowledge already. So what do you think? What are other magazine covers that call your attention, and then they are more integrated in the process of the activity? Does that make sense? So it's a possible next step. So in this case, we are working with the syntax, like describing only. We are going beyond, we are contextualizing, and we are working with language that I chose because I needed to practice he looks, she looks, it looks as if. So we have to put the three things together. Let's try another one, another activity. You've seen this before, right? But the idea. Do you know what these symbols are? Emojis. Emojis. Right. So with the person next to you, can you share what kind of texts or with what means of communication do you use emojis? It's not only one, it's many. Can you share what kind of communication? All right, so what type of communication do we usually use emojis? Social network, like Facebook, Twitter. What else? Tell me more.
Informal messages.
What kind of messages?
Like
WhatsApp. So texting. Only WhatsApp? Any other? Instagram? Mm-hmm. Emails? Emails to friends. Do you write emails to your friends? No one does anymore, right? Professional email. No, I'm not judging. I am the emoji that's thinking. I am the thinking emoji now. Do you at work? Do you send emojis when you write a professional email? Is it okay? Is it acceptable? Or depends? It depends on your boss. But it's possible, isn't it? Do you write emojis when you in handwritten messages, like heart? Do you? Do we still write? but yeah, that's a possibility. So it's part of everyday life. Everybody uses emojis. Some of you are saying like you're being very specific, like when I'm in love or when I am texting my boyfriend, I will send this but there are many different symbols and they are growing more and more and more. Every day we have new ones. Look at these ones. These are emojis, right? These are emojis. And let me tell you what they are. They are the first emojis ever invented. They are the first set. The first ones. Now, let's try to very, very briefly speculate about the story of emojis. When do you think they were invented? I'm going to stand here now for a second because the date is here.
Was it in the context of universities or something like that?
I'm sorry, what's your name? Sorry. Murilo. Could you hear Murilo? Can you say it again, please?
I think it was related to universities, and people tried to exchange emails and papers, and they started using those kind of symbols.
Yes, it was very organic to make communication a little bit more personal. Exactly. Let me show you because I can't stand the lights. Then they were not emojis because you only communicated with symbols, and the emojis they combine with text. They were created in Japan in 1998. This original set. If you compare to this one, do you think I can communicate more ideas with this? Of course, it's just a a tiny little set. But with this or with this? The other one looks more evolved. For example, here, do I have a range of feelings? Not really. There are some. Do you see any feelings here? Heartbroken. So I chose 3 that I thought were a match. Can you compare them? For example, compare anything. Your impressions comparing this and this. What can you tell me if you start comparing them?
There's a need to make things look more real and more, yes, from the 8-bit.
So this one is more real.
Yeah, it looks like more, how can I say, the design is better.
The design is better. Okay, good. What else? Any other ways to compare both? Tell me more. What about the colors? This is more colorful or more vivid. Can you compare the other ones, please, with the person next to you? It's got more pixels. Good.
A Lego dream. No, yeah, I know. That's why I think it looks like a rabbit. From behind, yeah. The rabbit is something here, like a flower. Yeah, but it's a rabbit. It's definitely.
It's not a rabbit. I see a rabbit. I see a rabbit.
The other one is green. Has a white square
All right. So what can you tell me about the different emojis from 1998 in 2017? So there's been an improvement? Why? Why? Let's compare them. What's been improved?
Pixels.
The quantity of pixels?
The second complaint better than the message.
Okay. So I could say that these are clearer. Yeah?
More realistic, actually.
Mm-hmm. But would you use these ones if they were available on your phones? No. The rabbit. Yeah. The tiny rabbit. It looks a little bit like a rabbit. So we're comparing them, but there is something very special about this set, the old set, and it's become a big deal this year, last year, this year. Do you know what happened to these emojis?
No.
They disappeared. Forever? No, it's not that. It's something very, very special.
They became part of the whole thing.
Almost that. We're very close. They became part of something big. They were added to the collection of the Museum of Modern Art in New York. So if you visit the Museum of Modern Art, you're gonna see famous paintings.